I've compiled a list of the 15 most painful programs to write code with. They get worse as they go, trust me. I'm gonna see if I can solve a coding interview problem in every single one to test how bad they actually are. By the end of this video, I'll have handwritten code in Minecraft books, Photoshop, and even Microsoft Excel. Then I'll take it another level further and code using a method that I thought was literally impossible. I'll crown one of them as the worst way to code ever documented and place it at the top of the horrible code editor's tier list. 1 out of 15, it's Vim. First, I had to figure out how to install Vim. It's not like other programs where you simply download it and press install. You have to use this special command in your terminal to even install it. Okay, there we go. Programmers are very particular about this stuff. There are full-blown holy wars going down online over which code editor is the best, with some Vim users claiming that learning the right code editor can make you 10 times more productive. And if you use something more beginner-friendly like VS Code, you are wasting your time. I'm gonna show them what wasting time actually looks like in this video. Vim is an ancient but deeply loved code editor, and it is notorious for being hard to learn for beginner programmers like me. Just look at this Stack Overflow question called "How do I exit Vim?" with over 2 million views. So Vim installed pretty quickly, but I couldn't tell if it was even working. After mashing a bunch of keys on my keyboard, it randomly decided to start letting me type. From there, it was pretty straightforward. I solved this leak code problem in about 22 minutes using Vim. It really wasn't that horrible to use once I was going, so I'm putting this one in F tier. Number 2, iPhone code editor. All right, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine how much you could get done if you could code anywhere, anytime, with the phone in your pocket. Instead of doom scrolling when you're bored, you could be working on your calculator app. And surely it wouldn't be a horrible development experience, right? Well, let's find out by attempting this code editor that I found on the Apple App Store. As a Gen Z man, I feel very at home typing on a tiny little touchscreen keyboard. And this app even has a little indentation button, which was honestly really handy for the Python syntax I was working with. I did quickly realize how much I depend on syntax highlighting and error highlighting when I code, because this had none of that. Anyways, it was essentially just a text editor, but on my iPhone. And it took only about 5 minutes to solve the leak code problem. C tier. All right, let's jump forward to a weird one. Microsoft Word. Okay, what about a text editor that's not designed for coding whatsoever? Microsoft Word. Honestly, it would still probably be pretty easy. So what if you used Microsoft Word and you typed only using Wingdings? So if you've never seen Wingdings, it's a font made by Microsoft from 1990, where every letter on your keyboard gets replaced with a weird glyph or symbol. For example, here's the sentence, "like and subscribe" in Wingdings. It's super weird and there's no reason for this font to exist. So I tried cracking into a leak code problem only using Wingdings. Debugging was a nightmare, fixing syntax was a nightmare, and having to go back and edit my solution was the biggest nightmare. I was basically flying completely blind. Anyways, I'm putting this one in B tier. 4 out of 15. You guessed it, it's Minecraft. Buckle up. All right, so you might be asking yourself how I'm going to write code in Minecraft. Well, there's actually a way to write and save text in the game, the book and quill. But to make the book and quill, I had to start a brand new survival world and gather all the materials from scratch. I killed cows for leather, chickens for feathers. I had to collect sugarcane to make paper, and I had to find a squid for the ink sack. To be honest, this was pretty much just an excuse to play some Minecraft on stream. Once I finally created the book and quill, I cracked it open and got to work. It wasn't too bad after that. Honestly, this was the most fun code editor yet. D tier. But I had no idea what I was in store for later on in the list. Number 5, it's Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro, the video editing software I literally use to edit this YouTube channel. I'm editing this YouTube video in Premiere Pro right now. And you can't write code in this software. You can't even input text, really. There's no text editor, but there is a timeline. So I made every single line of code its own clip and just renamed the clips. Screenshot the timeline, convert it to text, done. Not too bad. B tier. Number 6, it's Tinder. What? Tinder, the dating app. Okay, hear me out. So Tinder, like any messaging app, has a text box that you use to type messages. So theoretically, you could type up a whole leak code solution and just copy it over to your computer. But the issue is that I need to match to access this message box. So I did a little bit of swiping and I matched with this very lucky lady here, and I got to work on my Python solution. Once I had my leak code solution typed up, I copied it over to my computer and it worked first try. I also sent the solution to my match to see what she thought. and I'm still waiting to hear back. C tier. Number 7, we're stepping it up. This one, it's Microsoft Excel. All right, we're doing Microsoft Excel, except there's a twist. We only get 1 character per cell, and every line of code is its own row in the spreadsheet. To run my code, I had to save the whole spreadsheet as a CSV, and then go through and manually delete every comma the file had inserted. But once that was done, I copied it over to LeetCode and turned in my solution. I'm giving this one S tier. But it gets worse from here, don't worry. All right, number 8, it's Photoshop. All right, it's time to show off my incredible handwriting. I opened up Photoshop, selected the brush tool, and hand drew every single character of my code, pixel by pixel. This has gotta be how the computer science founding fathers wrote code back in their day. Probably, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know, I wasn't there. Then I exported the image, ran it through an OCR, and submitted the output over to LeetCode. A tier. But I wasn't done with Photoshop. I had to do it one more time. That's right, number 9 out of 15, it's Photoshop, but ransom letter style. All right, so same software, new rules. Every letter of my code has to be cut out from a different image on the internet, like a ransom letter. If I needed a P, I had to find an image of a P and add it to my Photoshop collage. And this took some serious time. But after a long struggle, I had my solution. Convert it to text and run. S tier. All right, so that's 9 programs down. And honestly, I've learned something with every code editor, despite how horrible they are to use. I'm starting to think that all this debate online over the best code editor, they might be missing something. Okay, I have a lot of text editors left and we don't have a lot of time. So time for a speed round. 10 out of 15, Mac OS Notes. Pretty straightforward. It's the Notes app on a Mac. Honestly, this one was just kind of fine. C tier. Whiteboard. Basically the same idea, just my handwriting on a whiteboard. This one was fine. B tier. Speech to text. Else, colon. Else, colon. Else. Colon. A tier. All right, speed round over. Number 14 out of 15, the Nintendo DS. All right, guys, do you remember the Nintendo DS? Each one of these puppies came with an app called PictoChat. And if you've never used a DS, PictoChat is for sending messages or little drawings over to other nearby DSs. Unfortunately, there was nobody nearby to chat with, but that didn't stop me from doing some coding. The stylus turned out to actually be pretty handy. I used the touch screen to type out the LeetCode solution 1 character at a time, copied it over to my computer, and boom, had it solved. C tier. Honestly, it was more lonely than painful. Number 15, raw binary. Remember at the start when I said I was going to code in such a way that it was thought to be impossible? Well, here it is. Computers don't actually read code. They read binary, 1s and 0s, 8 of them per letter. So naturally, I asked myself, what if I skipped the letter step entirely and just typed straight up 1s and 0s? The plan was simple. I was going to use an ASCII table to get the binary version of every character and then type out Python syntax in binary. So to type the word class, I had to type these numbers, 40 digits for the 5 letters in class. CLASS space. So I sat down with an ASCII reference table and started translating my Python code into binary, 1 character at a time. And this includes punctuation, by the way. Colons, semicolons, even spaces have their own binary representation. Even the new line at the end of every line has its own binary representation. And there is no part of this that moves quickly. At one point, I lost track of where I was in the file and accidentally typed an extra 1 somewhere in the middle, and I could not find it for the life of me. I sat there scrolling through 1s and 0s for what felt like hours, looking for the one misplaced 1 that I shouldn't have typed. Honestly, I've got a pre-K reading level when it comes to binary, and I seriously considered quitting. But as I sat there, combing through my code, trying to decipher what was even going on, a thought entered my mind. Okay, yeah, every single one of these code editors, they've sucked. But you know what? I'm still learning, and I'm still having fun solving these LeetCode problems. Maybe finding the best code editor isn't the point. Maybe the best code editor is the fun we had along the way writing code, regardless of what we were doing it in. So I persevered, I kept on, and then finally it ran. First try beats 100%. I'm putting this one in borderline unusable tier. The throne has been claimed. That's a wrap.